Alright, what's good, people? Now, my hair is soaking wet, as you can probably see, because I just got done shoveling about 15 minutes ago. It is just so brutal outside. Blizzard 2016. I live in northern New Jersey, so it's pretty fucking bad with the snow. There's like 3 feet of snow on the ground. And I was going to double upload today, but I don't think I'm going to have time because I'm probably going to have to go out and shovel in a couple hours again. And then when I come back in from shoveling from like the second or third time, I'm not going to really want to make a video or do much of anything because I have a huge driveway too, so it takes just a lot out of me. But I do have a pretty decent COD 2016 video. I will have the link to this Reddit post down below in the description because I'm going to be reading a rather large Reddit post, and if you want to read it yourself, I'll be sure to link this one down there because it's very important with what I feel like talking about today. So, COD 2016 video, I've been doing a lot of Black Ops 3 videos, and I figured as though I would squeeze in a COD 2016 video or two before the Awakened DLC comes out. So once again, I'm going to read this out, but it will be available to you down below in the description. I'm going to read it right now, actually, and it's titled COD 2016 Information from an ex-Neversoft employee. Hello, I was a temporary environment artist at Neversoft and was helping Infinity Ward make the next installment in the Call of Duty franchise. I have since left due to personal concerns, therefore I cannot confirm anything, but here are some things that you may want to start thinking about as we get closer to the official announcement of Call of Duty 2016. 1. Infinity Ward loves to create an in-game world in which you can relate to. We've seen modern settings in most Infinity Ward games, don't expect that to change. This world Infinity Ward has created is contemporary. However, a more advanced movement system than we've seen in previous IW titles will be present. 4-player co-op campaign is supported as part of the returning Spec Ops mode. It's important to note that 4-player couch co-op? Oh, couch co-op is in like off the same screen. Okay, that makes sense to me now. I just kind of drew that conclusion. It's supported as well. Multiplayer will support 4-player couch co-op in both offline, split screen, and online multiplayer. Extinction mode is making a comeback and will be unlocked upon completion of the main campaign. In the campaign mode, this is the first time Infinity Ward is putting you in the boots of a soldier fighting alongside famous historical figures. Think Khalifa Haftar? I don't know if I butchered that. Fans of the series will recognize several returning characters, but at the same time develop a liking for new ones. The same amount of destructible materials present in Call of Duty Ghosts will be featured across all game modes. I think they're talking about multiplayer in that regard. Campaign mode will follow a similar storytelling style to that of previous Infinity Ward games. You will jump into the boots of several characters across several factions. The setting of this game is different. Expect to be fighting in many of the out-of-the-ordinary locations. Okay. This game should answer most questions the community has been asking about the story told in previous Call of Duty titles developed by Infinity Ward. No new game engine for this installment, still working with a heavily modified Infinity Ward 6.0 engine. You might just want to look up these coordinates. It's like 12.5 north and 69.9667 west. I don't know where that location's for. I looked it up and I couldn't really find anything. I hope this is able to shed some light on what the next Call of Duty 2016 may have in store without spoiling too much for you. Okay, so I have a lot to say about this. Now, whether or not I think this leak is real, I'll go over it in a little bit. But basically, a lot of the information in this leak or in this post, I'm going to consider this a leak because leaks, they're not really guaranteed, and this is kind of the whole leak thing. This is the first real COD 2016 leak that I guess you could consider to be out there right now. Whether or not you think it's real is up to you, which I'll give my opinion a bit later. But a lot of the information in this doesn't really come at a surprise to me at all. In fact, a lot of the information in here seems like it could very well be real. It's very believable information. It's not like that outlandish shit that you would sometimes hear from people that are trying to just, you know, bullshit people. It does sound quite realistic. Spec Ops coming back, Extinction mode coming back after you beat the campaign. That all seems realistic, and the fact that they said that there was going to be advanced movement in there, again, seems realistic because I think Infinity Ward, they kind of still have a chance of going back to boots on the ground, or they still have a chance of it being boots on the ground, but I really do think that they're going to add some sort of advanced movement because the past 2 CODs have it, and shooters seem to be moving towards that. At least that's what Activision sees. Like, they think that shooters are moving more towards this vertical type movement, which is true in some cases, but a lot of the information in here does seem kind of realistic. It's not really that outlandish. There's nothing completely just absurd in there as far as I'm concerned. So do I think this is real? And before I get into my opinions, once again, let me know down below in the comment section. Do you think this is real? Do you think it's not real? Explain why not. Now, I think that there's a 20% chance that it is real, but there's an 80% chance that it's not real. So it's pretty much 20-80 for me right now. I'm going to explain why. The major reason, the red flag, the elephant in the room, if you will, for lack of a better term, a little metaphor right there, is normally when leaks happen from people that work within the company, work within Infinity Ward, Neversoft, whatever the case may be, they never, ever, ever list their position in the company. And this person did that. He was like a temporary environmental artist or something like that. They never do that. They never do, because it's too easily traced back to them, and they can get into a fucking shit ton of trouble for leaking stuff about a product that's not supposed to come out, especially from the likes of Activision, because Activision publishes Call of Duty. They're like $1 billion publishing corporation, and if you go behind their back and you leak information that's not supposed to be leaked, you will get into some serious trouble. So why would a person risk that much? Like, why would they list what they do? Which is kind of a head scratcher for me, because when you leak something, you want to remain anonymous. You don't want to give them even the slightest clue of who it is or who it could be, so that they could come and you can get in trouble for that. So that's the information, and those are my overall thoughts surrounding it. This person, in my opinion, did a pretty good job in making it sound convincing. The only thing that I really fucked up on in terms of like making it extremely convincing or 100% convincing is the fact that they stated their whole position at the company, and once again I already explained that you do not want leaks traced back to you, and if it was actually true, then they wouldn't have done a foolish mistake like that, because all of like the real legitimate leaks that have like all this high quality information, you never ever ever hear, oh, I'm a so-and-so at this company. You never hear that, because they don't want the stuff traced back to them. So convincing information, it could happen. I'm not saying that everything here is false, but I think the vast majority of it is probably going to be false, and that's pretty much just it. A lot of this stuff sounds believable. Like, I've talked about some of these things in different videos, such as movement, storyline, and all that good stuff. But this leak was a realistic one, but at the same time, like I just said before, I don't think it's that believable. Don't put too much money on whether or not shit's going to be true in here. But cool to think about, cool little thing. The biggest leak we've gotten for COD 2016. Anyways, video's coming to a wrap here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to rate the video, and as always, take it easy.